Hi! Hello. So this video that you're gonna watch was actually meant to be part of next week's weekly vlog of this week, but I wanted to give it its own space as a slot purely because the video initially was about 25 minutes and I cut it down and made it about 10 minutes long, so it's still a sizable video. I talk about Harry and Meghan's interview on Oprah. Now, I'm just going to state that I don't want to hear any racist opinions in the comments. I'm going to turn comments off for that reason, because my racism video from last year attracted a few comments that weren't nice and I really didn't need to justify myself in explaining my racist experiences. So for that sake, I'm going to be turning the comments off, but I wanted to include this prior so you understand why it's its own standalone video, because the content was quite heavy and I wanted its own room to kind of breathe. So here you go. Harry and Meghan's interview, I liked how they were really polite and courteous and normal about it. It was really intriguing to see the stuff that had come out and a lot of the stories that had been supposedly Meghan in the news, you know, the way the news has been working. It was really interesting to see her point of view. Really liked that Oprah included screenshots of newspaper publications and newspaper articles where they compare what's been said about her versus what's been said about other royals or Kate. Note what the reason was, and they discussed that, and talking about her baby's skin colour and mental health was really fascinating and really interesting to hear. And I've always really liked Meghan and I've always really liked Harry, and my god, my heart goes out to both of them, and Meghan in particular, because Harry had to give up quite a lot. They both gave up quite a lot, and I'm not a royalist in the slightest, but the way she's been treated and the way she's been hounded by the media, even Harry was very well aware of this, of how stories were spun and the narrative was set for her versus how it was set for other people. And it really got to me when Meghan spoke about suicide. Something that really got to me was Dump Truck on Good Morning Britain saying that she was making it up. Really infuriated me. But do you know what? Meghan saying the amount of courage it took for her to speak up and try and get help really hit me, and I got really emotional about it, because recently I've started therapy and I know how hard it is to finally take that step and be like, okay, I need to get some help for my sake, and the amount of internal struggle it is to notice that there's a problem. So I really applaud her. And yeah, it was just a really nice, I guess not nice with the circumstances, but it was really nice to see their side and her speak about it, because the world is bombarding you and there's only a certain extent you can choose to look away, and I don't think she looked away. I genuinely think, well, she was very much up to date with what her friends were telling her, because she didn't read a lot of stuff. And my god, I know this woman's been through hell and back. And Harry said it himself that the UK tabloids, the UK press are a nasty bunch. And the reactions to this interview, the reactions to Meghan speaking out, to Harry speaking out, shows this. And it shows the racism that Meghan is facing still, and people are still in denial. And one thing I want to make clear here, if a person of colour, if a black person, if a Asian person, whatever, a person of colour tells you about their racist experience, I do not want to hear, oh, you're bringing up the race card, it's got nothing to do with race, because you do not get to tell people of colour what is and what isn't racism. Full stop. Period. And I've seen that a lot on Twitter today. I've seen a lot of black people speak up, and I've seen a lot of ethnic minorities speak up and to be told they're always bringing up the race card, it's got nothing to do with race. And it boils my blood, because it dilutes the experience of it. It makes it mean nothing. And I remember the first time I was called the P word, I was called the N word. And it sticks with you. I don't read the comments anymore, and I accidentally did today, and this is where this is coming from. Meghan's experiences of racism, Meghan's experiences with mental health. You do not have the right to anyone who's gonna be like, oh, she's making it up, she's lying, she's doing it for attention, oh, it's not racism, she's just being an attention seeker, she's milking it, or it's not real. Don't you dare, is all I'm saying. Don't you dare. I've had people tell me it's not that bad, and you will never experience what it feels like to be called the P word and be told to go back to where you came from when you were born in the country that is supposed to be yours. Genuinely, that needs to be hit home, because a lot of people take that on themselves and be like, well, it's not racism, it's not this, it's not that, it's casual, it's not real, oh, you're thinking too much into it, it's banter, and you're like, no. And this is what I'm taking away from the interview. Do not tell someone that their experiences, in any sense, don't tell someone is experience of domestic abuse, of mental health, of eating disorders, of divorce, of death, doesn't warrant anything. And I'm not comparing this to racism. So big props to Harry and Meghan for that. They'll never see this, but the suicide stuff really personally got to me, and I really applaud that. And another thing, get that potato sack of a man off Good Morning Britain and get that woman replaced, because her sitting in silence makes it okay to be spewing hate. Piers Morgan isn't a free speech advocate, he's a bully. And sitting next to a bully and not saying anything is like school. If you're silent, you're complicit. You're part of the problem because you're not putting a stop to it. It's just, I just get frustrated because I'm like, hold on a minute. Racism isn't a problem for people of colour to fix. And that's what bothers me. And hey ho, who knows what people are doing behind closed doors? We don't know, but there's a line where I've recognised that a lot of my friends stop and then won't continue on because they don't need to. And I don't think it's out of spite. Sometimes I genuinely think they just don't have time or can't be bothered. And this is not directed to anyone, not at anyone, it's just in general. Push, keep pushing, push past that line of uncomfortable, because we as people of colour, we can't change the world because it's not our problem to fix, it's a problem that was thrown upon us and we're trying our best. After this interview, people are still like, Meghan's making it up, it's not racism, she's just attention seeking. And I'm just like, if people of colour are telling you their experiences of racism and you're not believing them, how do we as people of colour make a difference? How do we make the change? How do we make society better? Because you won't listen to us. And I know not everyone is bad, but right now the world is very divided, and I think we all need to help each other. We can only do a certain amount of work, but we need everyone to band together and want to make a difference. So the message really for this is push past that line of scariness, that line of fear that you have, that line of, oh, I don't know if I really want to read this, it's making me a bit uncomfortable, I don't want to watch this because I feel a bit sick, or I feel disgusted by seeing this is so wrong. Put yourself in uncomfortable places, because that is how you sympathise, empathise, put yourself in those people's shoes and see how it feels like. And I genuinely believe education is the key to moving forward and bettering ourselves. And I've always been an advocate for education. Specifically speaking to my sister, I always get her to learn for herself. I'm always like exposing her to new things. And I exposed her to a new thing because I came out, and she then got a chance to learn what it's like to have a gay brother, and opportunities to look into what my lifestyle is like, what kind of community I'm from. That's through education, that's through exposure. You've got to make yourself uncomfortable, expose yourself and open the doors and learn, because learning is how we branch to each other. It is how we communicate. It is how we learn what other people are going through. Everyone's not going to have the same point of view as you. You may be right, they might be wrong, but that won't make sense to them in their heads. They might think that they're right, you're wrong. And it is a battle. And I've noticed this with my family. The education and everything, you can pile on, and sometimes people choose to ignore it, but at least you've made the effort. I genuinely believe education is how we're gonna make a difference, how we understand each other, how we understand each other's lives, and be sympathetic. Because as a kid, as children, we are always taught be kind, and if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Where does that go when you become an adult? Like, what happens to that? And I know some people might think it's a fairy tale dream of mine, or other people to have this idea of a society where we can all understand each other and get along. And I'm not saying that, I'm saying more in a sense of racists. I want racist people to try and understand and try and learn and branch into something they're uncomfortable with. For us as well to try and educate the best we can, but it's not our place to fix a problem that we didn't create. So this is where we need other people. It's a really big mess, but communication, talking, expose yourself, make yourself uncomfortable. We're still saying it every day. Read books that make you uncomfortable, watch films that make you physically uncomfortable, expose yourself to situations where you might not feel comfortable, tackle your stereotypes, tackle your implicit biases, tackle your explicit biases. It's about self-improvement at the end of the day. And then that self-improvement can lead to someone else's self-improvement. But education is at the core. Learning and teaching and speaking and influencing and understanding each other. Understanding what people are trying to say. And this goes with life. It goes with everything. Political opinions. I don't know, opinions on food, where your food comes from. Gender pay gap. Building new sites. Where money goes. Tax cuts. All of that stuff. It's life. But in the context of racism, it is really important. It is really, really important. And I noted that last year, there was a comment on a social media post where I was speaking to a lady. It started off as an argument, but then we messaged each other. She genuinely wanted to understand what the issues were, and I said to her, I'm not going to give you all the answers, but I'm gonna try and help you. You got to do the work yourself. But the lady was willing to learn, and I really appreciated that, and that is where it happens. Hey there. So in the video I said I hope Potato Sack gets fired. Also I didn't end the video off, so I'm gonna do it now. And he left on his own accord apparently, but I think he got fired. Everybody clap your hands! Woo! I'm gonna end the video off here. I hope you found it useful. Hope you find it insightful. Like I said, I just wanted to give it its own room to be on the internet, and like I said before, I'm gonna turn the comments off. And I'm gonna maybe turn the likes and dislikes off because I really can't be bothered to deal with negativity and nastiness and people telling me that my experiences don't matter or they don't like Meghan. I don't care if you don't like Meghan, I don't care if you don't like Harry. I don't like the royal family, but I like them too. I don't want to hear that she's making it up because you don't like her personally, because she flunked you off. I don't know, because people seem to have a vendetta against her for no apparent reason. So, gonna end the video off here. Thanks for watching. I shall see you guys in my weekly vlog on Tuesday. Till then, take care, stay safe, and I shall see you guys very soon. Bye.